Hello, welcome to Wishy Analyses. Today we're going to be doing a character from the Warrior Cats book series named Bluestar. If you don't know how this goes, which you shouldn't, this is the first episode, I'm going to be analyzing the character, gonna go through their description, personality, if they were out of character, if they had good development, if they fit their intended role, if they were an extraneous character, etc., etc. And then the final verdict will be if they were a good character or a bad character. And I'll go through the points of what makes a good character and what makes a bad character at the end. So, I'm not going to read every single description word that's under Bluestar, but in total, she is a lean, hard-muscled, blue-gray she-cat with soft, thick, long fur and a broad face. She has a silver fur tinged around her muzzle and ice blue eyes. Okay, so throughout the book, she's noble, respectable, level-headed, but she still makes mistakes. She's not afraid to stand her ground. She's slightly stubborn, but also motherly and compassionate. For the most part, she's a very realistic character because, like I said, she's level-headed, she makes good decisions, but she can make mistakes. And for the most part, she does recognize her mistakes and takes responsibility for them. So that's mark of a good character right there, just in general. So she's not a Mary Sue. She's not all-knowing and powerful, like she dies quite a lot, and she has her shortcomings, so that's a pretty good personality right there. She is realistic, yeah, but she also may be viewed during multiple parts as out of character or that she goes through negative character development. Most of you, like, that have read the books probably know what part I'm going to get at, which is her slow deterioration. Not slow, actually, her deterioration after Tiger Claw's betrayal. Basically, her descent was way too quick, and it doesn't match her level-headed nature, so let's get into that. It would have been believable if it wasn't so fast and jarring from her normal character. She was in a state of shock and depression for a while, which is understandable, and the paranoia is understandable too. One of her trusted deputies was plotting to kill her the entire time. But it seemed jarring to most readers, especially to me, when she suddenly started becoming aggressive towards everything. Like, she was even like yelling at Fireheart for no reason. And then she was like, I'm sorry, but then she did it again, and like, that doesn't remind me of Bluestar. It's just like, it just doesn't match her. She's supposed to be like this great leader who is respectable, and now she's just like on the floor, staying in her den, like, no, get away from me. The starting point of this would probably be, not just like refusing to make apprentices warriors, but like I think the main point was when she like saw Brightpaw after she had gotten like mauled by the dogs, and she was just like, she didn't even care. She was just like, yep, this is Lost Face, StarClan's gone by, and everyone's like, what? Like, that doesn't match her at all. She's like, she knows StarClan, she knows that they don't have control over everything. She knows that their ultimate goal is to, like, watch over them, so it sort of didn't make sense. Like, yeah, you might be like, are there gods? But she's literally seen them. She's seen StarClan. She knows they're there. She knows that all they want to do is help. So it doesn't make sense for her to start, like, cursing StarClan and just going literally off the deep end. So what I don't understand is how Bluestar's paranoia escalated to the entire clan. Trust me, I have like huge paranoia issues, but I'm telling you that like extreme paranoia like that doesn't happen quickly. Like, you just start like seeing things that aren't really there. Like, you'll think you'll hear people whispering about you even though they're really not whispering about you. So like, I definitely get paranoia spreading, but Bluestar never left her den. Like, there is nothing for her to draw upon to like make her own paranoia. Like, her reasons were so short-sighted. Like, yep, Longtail talked to Tiger Claw, so clearly he's evil, and it's like, like, that's not anything. Like, that's such short-sightedness, and if it, like, regular Bluestar would be like, no, that's not true. Like, throughout the entire books, Fireheart's trying to freaking warn her about Tiger Claw and that, like, Redtail might not have killed Oak, or Oak didn't kill Redtail. Like, he's, like, showing her all this evidence, and the whole time she's like, well, I need more evidence in order to make a decision, even though Fireheart clearly has way more evidence than Bluestar does in being paranoid. Good job, Clark. So that part doesn't make sense. There would be, I think, personally, that there would be some part of her that would rationalize that, like, oh, Fireheart trusts the clan, that it's probably safe to trust the clan. And then there'd be another part that would, like, kick her in the butt and say, hey, you gotta stop being so mopey, you have a clan to run, like, you have a responsibility, you need to provide for your clan, because that's how she's always been, no matter what the cost. Like, she gave away her freaking kids just for the good of the clan. Like, if that doesn't kill someone, then what does? Like, I just don't understand how quickly her deterioration was. It just doesn't make sense to me, so I personally think it's out of character, but some people think it's in character because, oh, she just got paranoid and all of the things got to her, but whatever. I guess it's up to opinion at this point. She does seem to snap out of it when she finally, like, saves Fireheart from the dogs and then drowns in the gorge, and now she's dead, so a little too late in the living world. But, like, in StarClan, she's back to her normal self, and she's, like, she's still a little bit, like, paranoid and maybe a tiny bit bitter, but for the most part, she's, like, logical and open-minded, and she's like, no, I'm willing to look at other possibilities. Like, she's back to her normal self. So I guess she did have a little negative spiral, but eventually she had a positive development. Okay, so her intended role was to be a leader. Obviously, she'd be a leader that was easily respected, as well as a transition motherly figure for Fireheart. I think that this also stemmed from her losing her kids, so it's not like she had anyone to really fawn over except for Whitestorm, but at this point it wasn't written that Whitestorm and her were related until Bluestar's prophecy, so you didn't really see that in the beginning books, so I don't think it was really intended. So technically, she didn't really have anyone to fawn over. She definitely doesn't do it as much as Yellowfang does, but we'll get into Yellowfang later. She makes good decisions, but also mistakes, so she's gonna marry Sue. I stated that earlier. She also provides as a mentor for a leadership example, as well as Fireheart's literal mentor. So, I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, as Firestar is addressing the clan, like his first time as leader, he has, like, Bluestar over his shoulder, like, either he's imagining her or she's actually, like, with him as a StarClan warrior, or I guess, I don't know. And he's, like, remembering Bluestar and how she led the clan. So clearly she was a leadership example. Firestar, I guess at this point, Firestar kind of modeled his leadership techniques after Bluestar. So I think she fit that pretty well. She was also, like, a good caretaker of Fireheart in the sense that she was watching over him and she would scold him but not, like, super punish him whenever he would, like, help other clans. So yeah, she fits her role pretty well. In the story, the Erins didn't write her to create conflict. Like, there wasn't any unnecessary conflict. Anything with Bluestar seemed natural. Like, it didn't seem like she shoehorned it in, or they shoehorned it in. She's definitely not an extraneous leader, as she accomplishes much and provides well for her clan. So she is a pretty important character, and by the way, they don't have to be main characters in order to be important. There's a lot of, it's just not the main character. You don't have to be a main character to be important and not extraneous. So, final verdict. She is a good character. Despite my anger with her deterioration after Tiger Claw's betrayal, the only reason I'm so angry is because she was such a good character, and it just didn't seem right for her to be ruined by that one event. She fits her intended role well, which is very important for a good character. If they don't fit the role that you were intending, then you probably wrote the character really poorly. She does go through development, whether negative and or positive, and she develops into a different, I guess a different personality, I should say, before we met her, or after the when we met her the first time. And she contributes to the overall story, obviously. Like, she's very prominent, and she influences Fireheart and Firestar. I don't know which one to say, because, like, it's both. And he wasn't Firestar the whole time. So yes, Bluestar is an important character, and a good character. She's not flat. She's good. I enjoy reading about her, although I was frustrated, like, about the one part. I wish the Erins wrote more of characters like these, because they're just very enjoyable to watch in action. So thank you for watching. If you like this, then give it a thumbs up, and then maybe tell me which one you want me to do next, because originally I'm just going to, like, go in order, but if you guys really want a specific cat, then, or I guess Badger because Midnight's in it, if you want a specific character, then, like, leave a comment and stuff, yay!